Well, hello. My name's Kevin Thompson, and since June of 2007, I've made $13.5 million in sales solely by collaborating, partnering, and doing different kinds of projects with other alias people who were in a position to really help me be able to expand my marketing message, get it out there in a much bigger way, grow my business in a way that simply wouldn't be possible without having this kind of relationship capital in place and building this kind of relationship capital. And what I've really discovered over the years of doing this is that relationship capital is what leads to financial capital. And when you get the relationship piece right, which I'm going to be showing you how to do, the financial piece just pretty much takes care of itself. And after having so much success in this area in my own life, this last year, I began sharing my process with a handful of clients, and they too. I mean, it's kind of interesting. This process that I've been using in my own business. I for a long time, I was, when people started suggesting to me, Kevin, you should teach this process, and we've kind of coined it the JV Jedi process, but it's really kind of a misnomer because it's not necessarily about joint venturing or affiliate marketing. I mean, it's partly, but that's only a small portion of what it's really about. Because I'll give you an example. One of my clients, his name's Joe Foley. He owns a company called Corporate Disc. And one of the things that I found out in talking with him was that he has all these incredible relationships in his business. And what he does is he provides duplication services. He makes CDs, DVDs, informational products. He works with a lot of big, huge names. He produces product for them. He'll keep it in inventory. He does fulfillment. He does so many different things. He's got a huge operation in Illinois. I mean, impressive, that's for sure. But one of the things I pointed out to Joe is that, Joe, in your business, you don't have a personal relationship with the clients that your business serves. And someone on your team has a relationship with someone on their team. Well, what if you, as the owner of your business, started having a personal relationship with the owners of the businesses that you serve? I mean, if you did that, that alone would increase revenue in a dramatic way. And so I started sharing this process with him, and he's had a huge results as from me just sharing this with him. And a couple other of my clients, they are using this process to reach out and easily create relationships with other A-list people who have been able to help them expand their business. And so there's so many applications to this, and it's been such a rewarding experience helping the few clients that I have been. But I'll tell you, the floodgates opened in August of 2014, because that's when Joe Polish invited me to speak at his big annual Genius Network event. And he wanted to have me share my process there. And the thing about this event is the kind of people that come to this event, these are the movers and the shakers in the business world. I mean, to give you an idea, at this particular event, Damon John and Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank fame were there. Ariana Huffington from Huffington Post was there. Tim Ferriss, who many people know from the 4-Hour Work Week, was there. Jay Abraham. I mean, and then of course a lot of other very successful entrepreneurs that their names may or may not be well known. But I can tell you, this was a group of 235 of some of the most amazing entrepreneurs you'd ever know. And what happened after that event was just incredible. And I shared this process, and I gave people a way to start seeing results with it immediately, like within hours, right there on the spot. And they had such an incredible experience with it that and everybody was like coming up to me afterwards and talking with me for the rest of the event, asking me about how I could help them apply this JV Jedi process to their business. And so what it definitely confirmed for me is that I could quite honestly help a lot more of the right kind of people. And I was excited to do that because I was excited to share what I've been doing all these years and what I've discovered and what's worked so well for me, and be able to have an impact on you, to be able to take this process and apply it to your business and what you're doing and have incredible results with it as well. And so since then, I've been doing this, and I got to tell you, it has been such an amazing experience, not for just me and for my clients, but it just all the way around. Because what I've found out is that, yeah, I'm the guy who's created this process, and I'm the guy who's been using it, and I'm there, the guy who's there to guide my clients in applying it in their business. But the reality is, they're the rock stars. I mean, these guys are already doing lots of things right. And now I'm just able to help them, take what they're already doing and apply a little bit different, process to that already existing infrastructure they've got in place. And when we do that, amazing things happen. And now this group, as we come together, I mean, now that they're applying the process, each week we come back together and they're talking about what they've done and how they've done it, and sharing with everybody else in the group, and everyone benefits. And so having this experience, I wanted to start helping a whole lot more people like yourself. And so what I do need to do before we go any further is to make this really clear about who I can help, who this is for, and who this is not for. Because quite frankly, I can't help everyone. But who I can help in specific are, if you are the owner of an already existing business who is successfully selling what it is that you sell, then I can help you in a really big way. And also, if you're the person who holds a key position inside of a business like that, who's directly responsible for growth of that business, or directly responsible for relationships, joint ventures, that kind of thing inside of that business, then I can help you as well. And quite honestly, anybody outside of those two groups of people, I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time either. If that's not you, if you don't fit in to one of those two categories, you feel free to click away right now, because as much as I'd like to help you, we're just not a right fit for each other at this point. Okay, so with that said, let me go into a little bit of more detail about, these two groups of people that, and hopefully, if you're still with me, you fit into one of these two groups of people. So I kind of want to talk about the existing business owner, because if you are the owner of an existing business, you're already successfully selling whatever it is that you sell. You have a great reputation for doing what you do. You have clients who love you for doing what you do, because you provide incredible value to them. And you also have a lot of people who know you for doing what you do. But quite frankly, you probably haven't leveraged any of these relationships in a way that you really could, and that you really probably should be doing. I'm going to give you an example from someone that I was recently having a conversation with, because like you, all of these things in place were in place for him, and he was sitting on a gold mine. I mean, he had clients who loved him. He had other people in influential positions who knew of him, knew what he was capable of, knew the value that him and his company brought to the table, but yet he wasn't leveraging any of this. And when talking with him, I found out that what he was concerned about is like, he knew he was sitting on something. He knew he had assets that he wasn't leveraging, but his big concern was he was afraid of messing that all up. And quite honestly, his big concern was that he was afraid of damaging the relationships that he had. And he was a huge giver. I mean, he's one of these guys that's like me, that we just want to give and give and give. But quite honestly, he totally sucked at receiving. That's a technical term, by the way. And in his mind, he thought that, he was like, Kevin, he's like, I totally get what you do, and I understand it, but here's my concern is, what if, I know people who, I got clients that are really happy with us and that love us. And I've got other people like you talk about that know us for doing what we do. And he's like, and I've got relationships with a lot of these people. And quite honestly, yeah, they are in a position, clients and people who know us for doing what we do, that they're in a position to help us. But my concern is that if we went into, talks, or we went into doing something together and it didn't play out the way that we wanted, that now those relationships would somehow be damaged. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want to risk that happening. And see, and I could totally relate to that. And what I told him was this, is like, you know what? Think about somebody who knows you really well for doing what you do. And do, if you were to approach them and just said, hey, hey Tom, I know you know us for doing what I do, and I also know that you're in a position that if we were to collaborate together, we could do some great things together, and you could help me and I could help you, and I'd really like to talk with you about the possibility of maybe doing something together and just kind of brainstorm together. And I was like, if you talked with that person, do you think their response would be like, okay, that's fine, but you know what? Show me the money. How much money are we going to make? And he's like, no, they wouldn't reply that way at all. And I'm like, of course they would. Because see, this is the big concern, and one of the big misconceptions that people have, and one of the big mistakes that people have, is that they think with this whole partnering and collaborating kind of thing and expanding your business and tapping into this huge added stream of revenue, that people are all concerned about the money. And the reality is people like you, people like me, we already know how to make money, okay? And that is not at the top of our list of must-have priorities. In fact, it comes way down the list. I mean, things like making an impact in this world, having an impact on people's lives, working and collaborating with people who really want to make a difference. There's all kinds of other things, protecting the brand that we've created, furthering the relationship that we have with our clients, with our prospects, with those who know us for doing what we do and have so much respect for us. Those are things that top the list way over and above the potential money that we could make. And see, the thing is, this is just one of the misconceptions that people have. And I will let you know that there really is a way to make all this happen. And up until now, all you've been missing is the process, because if you're not leveraging your relationships with your clients, with your prospects, with other people who already know and love you and have respect for you for doing what you do, if you're not leveraging these relationships to the very best that they could be and capitalizing on these relationships, you're missing the boat. And I can show you how to fill that gap. I can give you the structure that you're currently missing. And when and I hosted an event recently, and I shared this whole process with people that were in one of these two positions, either an existing business owner or someone who holds a key position inside of an existing business, like we talked about. I'm going to address that more in just a second as well here. But if you're in one of those two categories, I want you to register and click the link below, go to my website, register, and get the recording of this live event that I held, because I'm going to open up your mind to a whole new way of doing things. I'm going to show you how to tap into a huge revenue stream that you are not yet tapping into, or not yet tapping into in the way that you really could. So that's, if you're that existing business owner, definitely get registered for this, get this training. I look forward to getting it's not very long. It's about 60 minutes long, and this is going to rock your world, that I promise. Now, the other kind of person that I can really help in a huge way is the person that, if you're someone who holds a position inside of an already existing business, like we've been talking about, where you are directly responsible for growth of that business, or directly responsible for like relationships with whether it's relationships with the clients and prospects you serve, whether it's relationships with other key people who can help you expand your message. If that's your role inside of this business, then I can help you in a big way, because you are responsible for results. You have people to answer to. When the question of, why aren't we selling more, or why aren't we doing as well as we could be, people look to you, don't they? And they come to you for answers. And quite frankly, you want to be a rock star, and I'm going to show you how to be that rock star. And I'll tell you, I've worked with other people that are in your position, and I'll just give you an example. I'm not going to name names here, but I can let you know I'm working with the joint venture manager of a company. Her name's Mandy, and she works with a very successful company as she holds this kind of a position in that company. And I told Mandy, I said, Mandy, when you register for this training that I'm going to offer for you, the person who owns this company, they're going to love both of us for doing what we're about to do. And I'll tell you what, that has been totally true. And with that, you too, go ahead, register for this, get it, and get access to this training. I look forward to sharing it with you because you too, I am going to rock your world. We're going to do some incredible things together, and I will see you on the other side.